The entire controversy, which is to do with the Karnataka contractor's death, and they are in fact protesting in front of Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai's residence in Bengaluru, and they are protesting against the accused Minister Eshwarappa, demanding his ouster. In fact, my colleague Imran is joining us live from that very protest site. Imran, after the Congress party, now Aam Aadmi Party is also joining forces, in the opposition to demand the ouster and arrest of Mr. Eshwarappa.
Well, absolutely. I can see behind me that Aam Aadmi Party Karnataka unit is protesting here. They started their march from Shivanand Circle. Now, this is just 300 meters ahead is the Chief Minister's residence, where they are protesting, demanding resignation of Eshwarappa. Just a day before, they had registered a complaint against Eshwarappa. FIR has been registered in already. What else you want? The government is saying they are investigating the matter. No, but why there is an investigation? Because Santosh Patil has written a letter 1 year back saying that there is a 40% government is going on. For the work he has done, K.S. Eshwarappa is demanding 40% commission out of that. That's been complained 1 year back. Till now, government has said FIR registered, he is accused number 1. They are investigating the matter. Why is he not put behind the bars? Yesterday, we went to High Gross Police Station and we filed a complaint against K.S. Eshwarappa. Till now, he is outside. Why not? He is being removed from the cabinet. That is also not being done. There you see the Aam Aadmi Party spokesman saying that not just FIR is registered, he should have been arrested by now and he should have been sacked from the cabinet ministry. This is also the demand the Congress made earlier in the day in the morning, where they went to the governor's house. They gave him a dossier to the governor demanding Eshwarappa's sacking, and he should be arrested on the charges of murder, and also against the government saying that this is a 40% commission. This is a clear case of murder. Now the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party mounting pressure on Eshwarappa. CM has called Eshwarappa to meet him today at 3 p.m. where Eshwarappa, who was in Mysuru, has left in his car to meet the Chief Minister. Chief Minister, who's been doing a tour districts of Mangaluru and Udupi, also rushing back to the state. His opposition united together now in demanding resignation of Eshwarappa, whether he will resign or not. Eshwarappa today made a statement that he will resign if Chief Minister asks him to. Now all eyes on the Chief Minister now, whether he'll ask Eshwarappa to step down. As the opposition says, KJ George will have to step down on a similar charges of when the opposition brought up against BJP brought it up against Congress government. Why is he not BJP acting on it?
Right, Imran, in fact, very important points that you're also making, and also taking us through the protests that are currently on in Bengaluru, and very, very dramatic visuals behind you right there. But if we actually take a look at this particular case and talk about Santosh Patil, how he had claimed harassment by K.S. Eshwarappa, no word there by Eshwarappa at all.
Well, absolutely. He says that he didn't even know Santosh Patil. That is a shocking statement coming from Eshwarappa, that he didn't even know who Santosh Patil is. But however, Eshwarappa had filed a defamation case against Santosh Patil and claiming that he's damaged his reputation by bringing frivolous charges. Santosh Patil in March had given a public statement and also written letters to the Prime Minister and to the Union RDPR Minister Girraj Singh, saying that 40% commission is being demanded, hence his dues is not being cleared, and he had taken loan close to around 4 crore rupees from the loan sharks, and they are pestering him. And any untoward incident happens or any drastic step he'll take, Eshwarappa should only be held responsible. And that is the issue right over there, that he's also in his death note, which he had sent to several journalists in Belagavi, he mentioned that Eshwarappa should only be held responsible for his death. And based on that, an FIR has been registered against Eshwarappa, his close aide Basuraj, Ramesh and others. Now the question is, the opposition is asking is, why is this no arrest has been done so far? So far, it's been very clear that the death note is there. Eshwarappa's name is mentioned. He should have been immediately sacked. When BJP had brought up same issue against KJ George, the Ganapati case, the Congress government had sacked KJ George. Why is not Eshwarappa is being sacked is what the opposition is demanding. Behind me, as you can see, Aam Aadmi Party is also protesting here, and behind me you can see the police is barricaded the just 100 meters before the CM's residence. So we probably see that they will be taken into preventive detention in short while from now. But opposition is united now, asking, demanding resignation of Eshwarappa. Probably around 3 or 4 o'clock, we'll get to know whether CM will ask him to step down or whether
All right. Imran, in fact, stay on with us. Neha also is joining us live from Bengaluru. In fact, she is ahead of you at the very spot where the protesters are going to arrive at, right outside the Chief Minister's residence in Bengaluru. Neha, the opposition really is upping the ante right here after what the Congress party really said in the statements right after that meeting with the governor. Very strong statements there. Now, Aam Aadmi Party has also jumped in. However, other than the fact that, K.S. Eshwarappa has just said that if the CM really wants me to resign, I will go ahead and resign. He has not really commented after really feigning ignorance on the contractor's death earlier.
Well, that's absolutely right. In fact, like Imran was mentioning, absolutely shocking statements, to say the least, coming in from Mr. K.S. Eshwarappa. First, he says that he did not know who Santosh was. Later, he says he filed a defamation case against Santosh. Now, coming back to the larger problem at hand over here, it's not only the Congress, but in fact, now even the Aam Aadmi Party has jumped into this political fight. And, unfortunately, of course, the matter has turned political. They're also, in fact, demanding the resignation of Minister K.S. Eshwarappa. And most importantly, what we're seeing is that it did take the police quite some time to file an FIR in this case. It was almost after, about 15, 16 hours of this death happening. And even as the death note very clearly mentioned K.S. Eshwarappa's name over there, of course, that is what the Congress is alleging, that why did the government not act on this earlier? Let's tell you that in the month of March, in fact, Santosh Patil had put out several allegations. He had written to the Prime Minister, he had written to the Union Minister as well, with allegations of, in fact, being asked for commission by the minister's aides. He's also categorically gone on to mention over there that the minister himself did not clear the dues that were pending to him. And if at all, any drastic step is taken by him, then the minister would be held solely responsible. Now, even as all of this has happened, now we'll have to wait and see what decision the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Basavaraj Bommai, takes, and whether, in fact, he asks him to step down, at least on moral grounds, or not.
Absolutely. And Neha, the Aam Aadmi Party members, in fact, have arrived right behind you. We can also see them holding those banners and placards. If you can just speak to some of them and really understand what is it that they are demanding, because right after the Congress party, this entire protest against K.S. Eshwarappa has intensified, even as he is meeting the Chief Minister.
Well, absolutely. In fact, we will take it straight to them. Sir, अगर आप बता सकते हैं, अगर आप बता सकते हैं कि आज आम आदमी पार्टी के क्या मांग है, सर, और आज ये प्रोटेस्ट क्यों चल रहा है, अगर आप हमको बता सकते हैं।
सर, रूरल डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर के.एस. ईश्वरप्पा को इमीडिएटली जेल में डालना ही है और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है। यहाँ पे 40% कमीशन जो चल रहा है, ये सबको मालूम है। और एक साल पहले संतोष प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी को एक लेटर भी लिखा था, उसमें बोला है कि वो 4 करोड़ का जो काम किया है उसमें 40% का कमीशन मांग रखा है ईश्वरप्पा बोल के क्लियरली लिखा है। एक साल के बाद भी सीएम बोम्माई कुछ भी एक्शन नहीं लिया है। हम लोग बहुत बार राज्यपाल जी को मीट किया और एक बोला है कि हमने डिमांड भी रखा एक हाई पावर कमेटी को फॉर्म करके इसको इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने के लिए, बट अभी तक एक भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं हुआ, कोई भी अंदर नहीं गया। इसका मतलब क्या है? ये बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट और बोम्माई करप्ट के साथ है, ये भ्रष्टाचारी के साथ है।
आप भी के.एस. ईश्वरप्पा का रेजिग्नेशन मांग रहे हैं?
खाली रेजिग्नेशन नहीं, हम मांग रहे हैं कि उसको इमीडिएटली जेल में डालना है और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, वो लोगों को जेल में डालना ही है, क्योंकि संतोष क्लियरली लिख के मीडिया को भेज के मेरा सुसाइड के लिए के.एस. ईश्वरप्पा ही रीजन है, मेन रीजन है बोल के, देन क्यों नहीं ईश्वरप्पा को आप जेल में नहीं डालते हो? क्या आम आदमी को एक कानून है और ये मिनिस्टर्स को एक कानून है क्या? हम डिमांड कर रहे हैं कि ईश्वरप्पा को इमीडिएटली जेल में डालना ही है। Thank you.
From the Aam Aadmi Party again, as pressure continues to mount on the government at this point in time, we're seeing that it's not only the Karnataka Congress, but in fact, several other opposition parties over here in the state, including the Aam Aadmi Party, are now demanding that K.S. Eshwarappa be booked on more serious charges than just abetment to suicide, that he be booked on charges of murder, but also the fact that, in fact, he be sacked from the cabinet immediately, an important decision that lies ahead of the Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, and what decision he takes, of course, today would likely be setting an example, is what, the opposition has been stating. We'll really have to wait and see how this pans out.
Absolutely. Neha, thank you so much for joining us with all those details there. So trouble really mounting for KS Eshwarappa. A demand for his ouster and arrest now growing with the opposition. We have to wait and watch, like Neha, my colleague, really said, on what the Chief Minister of the state goes ahead and decides in this case.